war! Stop Putin! Stop the 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 war!
This is the anti-war Ukrainian demonstration outside Downing Street. So many Ukrainians warned us for so long in such detail about the danger that their country faced from Russia, and so many times their warnings weren't listened to. Already 14,000 dead Ukrainians, every one of them leaving a husband or a wife, a mother or a father, son or a daughter, a friend or a neighbour behind them. And that huge price in blood, all for nothing, because we didn't listen, we didn't stand up to the Putin regime, we didn't go after the dirty money, we didn't bring Ukraine into the EU or into NATO or somewhere it'd be safe. We were naive, complacent, stupid, and I'm afraid above all greedy. We didn't want to pay the price of taking security seriously. And the Ukrainians paid it in blood then, and they're paying it again in blood now. Just in front of me is Downing Street. It's so wonderful to think the United Kingdom would come and take the lead, standing up to Putin's new Cold War against the West. Stand up on the tide of dirty money that sloshes through the streets of London, seizing the oligarchs' football clubs, their yachts, their palaces. Don't hold your breath.
Stop Putin, stop.
So I'm here again at the demonstration outside 10 Downing Street. You can hear people chanting, "Stop Putin, stop the war." It's looking a bit late for that now. We've had so many chances to stop the Kremlin, stop Russian imperialism. We were warned about it right back in the 1990s, didn't listen. Right here in Downing Street next to me, people came to warn British governments and they were patronised and belittled and ignored. And now Ukraine is being dismembered in front of our eyes, and a desperate bunch of Ukrainians and Poles and Russians and Lithuanians and others are here, hoping that at the 59th second or the 59th minute of the 11th hour, the West will still find the guts and gumption to act. Don't hold your breath.
Stop for UK to implement those sanctions.
I'm so pleased to find my friends from the Lithuanian community in London here, among so many other people. And of course Lithuania was warning us back in the early 1990s about the threat we faced from Russia. Time when many of the people at this demonstration weren't even born. And those warnings from Lithuanians were not just ignored, but the people who delivered those warnings were patronised and belittled until they didn't understand Russia and they had post-traumatic stress disorder and they were exaggerating the threat. And now we see the result. Not just 14,000 dead Ukrainians since 2014, but many more dying right now under the assault of Russian missiles and rockets and shells in Ukraine. So let's say, Ush Musu ir Yuso Laisve.
Thank you, Edward, for your continued support for freedom.
For freedom. It's getting darker here in Whitehall outside Downing Street, and the crowd is just getting bigger and bigger all the time. The chants of "Stop Putin, stop the war, shelter our skies, switch off SWIFT." Not just Ukrainians here. Guy from my left from Lithuania. We've got Russians, got Poles, got Belarusian flags I see over there, Georgians, so many people who've known what it's like to fight for their freedom in the days of the Soviet Union, to regain it, and now seen it at risk again. The message from the West to the West is really clear. If you don't stop Putin now, you're next. Is Downing Street listening? We hope so, but the sanctions so far are just pitifully inadequate. Ukraine being dismembered in front of our eyes as we stand here, people dying, bombs dropping, buildings burning. Stop Putin, stop the war. Say it again and again.